it looks like we are so close to an indictment of Donald Trump, specifically in regard to the federal investigations into him. Of course, you have the Mar-a-Lago documents investigation, but then also you have the attempts from him and his allies to overturn the 2020 election, possibly being illegal. And that one is the one that I think is so important that he's held accountable for, because it does have the largest ramifications for the rest of time. We are going to look back on this in history and say, was the guy who attempted to stay in power unconstitutionally, even though he lost an election, held accountable for it? If not, we're going to see it many more times in the future, I can promise you. But here's someone responding to the appointment of the special counsel, Jack Smith, by Attorney General Merrick Garland, giving credit to Jack Smith as the right guy to be doing this job.
So I know Jack from having overlapped with him in the Eastern District of New York, where when he started, I was actually the chief of the criminal division. He is a smart, incredibly tenacious prosecutor, knows his way around the courtroom. And I think he's going to be particularly adept at knowing sort of what to follow and what not to follow. In other words, really focusing people on what's important and not letting them get distracted. So I suspect, although people are worried about delay caused by the appointment of a special counsel, I think ultimately this is going to lead to the investigation speeding up, because that's the kind of prosecutor Jack is.
So he's believing, while some people are criticizing this as slowing down the investigation, it is actually going to speed it up because Jack Smith will be very efficient with his processes. I am getting the feeling that this is a preparation for an indictment, and many legal experts are saying the same, that this indicates we're very close and kind of getting the ducks in a row for the optical moment that is going to have to be considered when a former president who's currently running for president gets indicted by the federal government. And that is why Attorney General Merrick Garland decided to appoint a special counsel to remove himself from the investigation directly, because he, of course, is appointed by Biden. And that's going to look political to many people for sure. But it looks like Jack Smith, from a lot of people I've read their perspective from, he's the right guy for the job, which is good. Then you have one guy I want to show you on MSNBC saying, I think Mar-a-Lago is an open and shut case. And so we could see that indictment coming down.
There are a lot of people, including a lot of our viewers, who are really upset with how the Mueller investigation turned out in the end. There were certainly a lot of successful indictments that were brought, but not against some of the main higher-ups, including Donald Trump. The fact that that didn't happen in Mueller doesn't, to me, say anything about what would happen here. These are very separate animals, and Mar-a-Lago is, in my mind, an open and shut investigation. It is, there's no doubt in my mind that if I did this or you did this, we'd be in jail right now. We certainly wouldn't get a special master or a special counsel or prosecutor or the like. It would be a very easy case. It's not that different. It's just the identity of the person, Donald Trump, that makes it different. But at the end of the day, I expect that Donald Trump will be indicted by this special counsel. And this move to appoint a special counsel, we can debate its pros and cons. I do think it's going to take a little more time than it would have otherwise. But ultimately, I think we will get to the same result when it comes to Mar-a-Lago.
Which is what we're hoping. And I do agree. What we joked about, I think it was on yesterday's show, is when you think of criminal cases, this is pretty simple, right? Okay, the law says you can't have these types of properties of the government, and the government, specifically the National Archives, specifically requested multiple times that you turn over the documents. You said, okay, you gave some of them. They said, wait, you still have more. You said nothing, completely didn't comply. And then they raided your residence and found the document they were looking for. That's so sick. How they're saying this is a huge political witch hunt. How? Look at the law. Look at what Trump did. Cross him over. Real easy and simple. And I agree, it does seem to be a close and shut case, or open and shut case, or whatever the phrase is. And that's good news. And hopefully we will see Trump indicted in the very near future. But I am concerned, not that this should affect the Justice Department's actions, but I am concerned with what that will mean as far as the response from MAGA. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.